Tonight on KGW News, the robbery suspect accused of using disguises to steal from several local stores. Plus,
I don't think you ever truly get over something like this.
the memory of the 2020 wildfire that destroyed their home is still fresh. Now see how this Clackamas County community is trying to get prepared for the next disaster. And another shot of summer heat on the way before fall officially starts. Then later,
we all support each other, and these kind of things create togetherness.
Portlanders show up to mark Mexico's Independence Day, but it's a little different this year.
Why some people are observing this cultural celebration from home tonight.
And we begin tonight with breaking news out of Clark County. That is where the union representing classified staff like paraeducators and secretaries at Vancouver Public Schools have reached a tentative agreement with the district that could avoid a strike. Union members authorized a strike last week as the two sides struggled to agree on a new contract. But the union now says a fair deal is on the table. Members will have until October 1st to vote on it. We'll bring you updates as soon as we get them. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. Our top story tonight, a Portland man accused of using different masks in a robbery spree targeting Southeast Portland businesses. Alma McCarty has a look at what happened when he went to court today. Alma.
Well, Christine, a judge decided he'll stay behind bars for now. In court, the state played a series of security videos showing a pattern where he, the suspect, shows up often in a rubber or sheer mask and demands cash from store clerks. And at least one of those masks is pretty distinct.
The Southeast Portland robbery spree began here in late June.
The first victim of the robbery was Dutch Brothers Coffee, and then proceeded through July, August, and picked up toward the end of August and early September.
And in the first video, shared Monday afternoon in Multnomah County Court, the suspect rolls up to the drive-through window, pulling what appeared to be a gun on the employee.
And is that mask, if you recall, it looks like it depicts Walter White from the show Breaking Bad?
Yeah, that's correct.
The worker handed over more than $300 in cash, and that pattern would continue, with the suspect allegedly hitting 7 other businesses, in most cases in a hoodie, gloves, and either a rubber or sheer face mask.
Yeah, he was saying give him the money, he didn't want to hurt them, and it was kind of variations of that through the different robberies.
The suspect, identified as 49-year-old Justin Christensen, is accused of robbing the Taco Bell on Southeast Powell, then the Burger King across the street. He also allegedly demanded cash from Starbucks on Powell, and 2 weeks ago took more than $800 and $1,000 worth of products from a marijuana dispensary on Southeast Cesar Chavez. According to court documents, Christensen admitted to detectives that he used pellet guns.
They both matched the description. One was appeared to be like a Glock 19 black, appeared to be a handgun, but it was a pellet gun. And there was also a large silver revolver one as well.
The court deemed most of those robberies qualified as violent felonies. The judge decided Christensen wouldn't be released before his trial.
Based on the circumstances, I agree that potentially one incident in and of itself doesn't necessarily rise to that level, but what we have here is a series of very concerning behavior.
The suspect's due in court tomorrow morning for an arraignment. Christine, back to you.
Alma McCarty reporting for us this evening. Thank you, Alma. Let's get you caught up now on tonight's other headlines. Oregon State Senate Republican leader Daniel Bonham is stepping down. Today, Bonham announced he'll resign from the Senate effective October 5th. He's backing Representative Christine Drazen to serve out the rest of his term. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans elected Senator Bruce Starr as their new leader. Bonham served in the Senate since 2023 and in the House before that, starting in 2017. Workers with Kaiser Permanente in Oregon and Southwest Washington are voting whether to authorize a strike. This involves unionized nurses and health professionals who are bargaining with Kaiser alongside 60,000 members of the Alliance of Healthcare Unions in other states. Issues include wages, working conditions, and the future of care. If they vote to strike, it could happen anytime after the current contract expires on September 30th. In a statement, Kaiser says it's optimistic about reaching a fair agreement and that care will not be impacted during the strike vote. And Governor Tina Kotek signed in 3 new laws today meant to protect Oregon consumers. The laws ban hidden online fees, remove medical debt from credit reports, and require clearer loan terms when buying a car. The governor says the laws will bring more fairness and transparency to everyday purchases. All 3 take effect next year. Let's take a quick look outside on this Monday night from our Rose City Sky Cam. Today's mild, sunny weather definitely made for a pretty great start to the week. But we are heating up tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafiano now joining us with a look ahead. Hey, Matt.
Hey, these September warm-ups usually feel pretty good, even though we're headed for the upper 80s. Look at the sunset we had tonight. We'll finish that off here a little bit later on. Our high today was 77. That is exactly average for this date. So a really great day. Morning lows were in the 40s, highs in the upper 70s. Sunshine abundant all day long throughout the state of Oregon. Had 80s in Brookings, often a sign that we're about to heat up in the rest of western Oregon, and we are. Now, we'll be watching the east winds. Right now, they're calm throughout the metro area, but they're going to kick in the early morning hours. We'll have a pretty good east wind tomorrow, the strongest we've seen so far this month, strongest we've seen probably since like last spring. So tomorrow about 60 in the morning, so quite a bit warmer than it was this morning because that wind is going to kick in and mix the air a bit. And then by early afternoon, we're up to 80. We'll make it up to 88 tomorrow afternoon, sunset at 7:19. So again, the days quite a bit shorter now than they were, of course, back in the middle of summer, but still plenty of sunshine on the way for tomorrow and for a good part of the week. We'll have those strong east winds, even the coast headed for the 80s. We'll talk about the cool down and when the rain will return in a bit, Christine.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matt. In Tualatin, a business remains closed 2 days after lithium-ion batteries started a fire there. It happened at Van Specialties. Fire investigators say the lithium-ion batteries were stored on a rack, but it's not clear if they were charging at the time. According to Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue, these battery-sparked fires are a growing problem. They say it's important to buy the batteries from reputable places, never overcharge them, and monitor them for signs of swelling. If a lithium-ion battery is swelling, remove it and take it to a recycling facility. Never throw it in the trash. Here's advice from an expert if a fire starts from these batteries.
Based on the kind of chemicals and things that are coming out of a lithium-ion battery and how quickly it can grow in ignition and fire, it's best for people to call 911 and get out of the home for their own safety versus trying to engage and take care of it. There's more likelihood of exposure and getting injured and causing more damage.
Fortunately, the Van Specialties business manager says no one was hurt in that fire. The man accused of killing conservative influencer Charlie Kirk apparently confessed to the shooting in an online chat group. NBC's Morgan Chesky has a closer look at the new evidence coming out tonight.
Tonight, a chilling portrait emerging of the suspect police say assassinated Charlie Kirk. The Washington Post reports, citing 2 people familiar and a screenshot. He appeared to confess in an online group chat before turning himself in, writing, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The FBI director revealing 2 pieces of evidence had the suspect's DNA, a towel wrapped around the murder weapon, and a screwdriver found on the roof, saying the suspect had a hatred of Kirk.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology, and he had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
The FBI now investigating if anyone had information before the shooting and did not tell authorities. President Trump was asked if the suspect worked alone.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you he didn't work alone on the internet because it seems that he became radicalized on the internet.
Here at Utah County Jail, authorities say that Tyler Robinson is now on a special watch status, meaning even closer supervision, adding he'll stay there until passing a mental health evaluation.
The FBI saying they're also speaking to his roommate, who authorities say he was romantically involved with. While the arrow symbols on one of the suspect's alleged inscriptions on unfired rounds, which follows the message, "Hey fascist, catch," may be related to controller moves to drop bombs in the video game Helldivers 2. Kirk was married with 2 young children. The vice president today hosting his podcast.
Get involved, get involved, get involved. It's the best way to honor Charlie's legacy.
Morgan Chesky reporting. Well, earlier tonight, back closer to home here on The Story, we took a look at one Portland City Councilor's efforts to strengthen the city's sanctuary status. Right now, Portland only has a resolution that prohibits the city and its police from helping with federal immigration enforcement, but it's not binding law. Councilor Samir Kanal plans to introduce an ordinance to make the status part of city code. A second proposed ordinance would prohibit all law enforcement in the city, including federal agents, from hiding their identities and would require them to display badges.
It's because if you're going to be detained, if you're going to have your liberty taken away from you, you deserve to know who's doing it. And one of the ways that we see that play out is with masked federal agents, but there's also the risk of people impersonating a federal agent. We don't want to have that happen here, where someone can commit a crime and just not be interacted with because they claim to be ICE. That's a really big risk that we've seen in other cities.
To learn more about the ordinances, head to KGW Plus to check out tonight's full episode of The Story.